Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Space Quest 6. We have just been injected into the body of Stellar Santiago. Let's see if this thing actually works.
This is the shuttle hat.
Okay. I've just got no audio or music for a moment, so let's see what we can come up with. We need the EVA suit. We do not need the helmet at this point. Seems we've snagged some capillaries.
This heat tile looks loose. Whoops. I have to stop doing that.
Quit boinking the fuel tank light. Uh-oh. This tank's cover must have come open during Mr. Wilco's wild ride.
This heat tile... Whoops.
Okay, the heat tile thing happened well before... This game was released well before the Columbia disaster. We need to carry the helmet. We need to not wear...
This heat tile... Whoops. This heat... Whoops.
Don't... You pinch yourself. It's an old cup of MC Cola, the cola that gets you hammered.
Who in the world left all this trash in here? Isn't somebody supposed to clean up the shuttle when it comes back from a mission? Oh, wait. That's me. On second thought, it doesn't look so bad, after all.
Okay.
It's pretty sticky.
Yeah, we do need to wear the suit. We don't need to wear the helmet just yet. I think we're going to need it later. And it wouldn't let me back into the shuttlecraft. So let's try again. Need whatever's on the engine.
Uh-oh. This tank's cover must have come open during Mr. Wilco's wild ride. Your stolen miniaturized shuttle has become mired on the fundus of the stomach like a beached whale. It's alveoli.
All right. We go down here. We have a problem.
You acquire a candy.
It's a feather.
A cluster of stomach acid shy nanites is lurking near the entrance to the duodenum. They know all the cool places to hang out. The inside of Stellar's tummy is slippery, mostly because of the mucus secreted by the stomach lining, and there are a few pockmarks here and there, but when push comes to shove, this is the most beautiful stomach you've ever been in. There's just this one thing. Those little robots are the nanites sent down to aid in taking over Stellar's body. They look like guard nanites. But then, for all you know, they could be ballerina nanites. My goodness, those little guys are efficient. However, based on how they left your boots behind, you might consider some odor eaters.
Let's take a look at the loot we've just snagged here. We have...
You're the first one on your block to actually possess someone else's alveoli.
Here's the plank.
It's the plank you found at the construction site.
From the Information Superhighway
It's
office.
a piece of that stringy stuff from celery.
Here's the fish we've had since Elmo Pug.
It's the most indispensable item in the universe. Duct tape. It's the pump you retrieved from the shuttle trunk. It reminds you of one of those hand pumps you use when the astrohead plugs up. These are the candies you retrieved from Stellar's stomach. It's one of those ticklish pin feather things. It's the bundle of capillaries you appropriated from Stellar. It's a piece of staple. You've got to wonder what was on the menu for Stellar's last meal.
Yeah, why is there a staple in her stomach?
It's the subroutine program disk the doctor gave you to be able to navigate through Stellar's body.
Okay. So if those little monster thing, those little nanites don't like stomach acid, let's provoke some.
Interesting. The acid... You acquire a candy. Interesting. The acid rises, but just not quite high enough to submerge those nanites. You acquire... Interesting. The acid rises, but just not quite high enough to submerge those nanites. In this galaxy, though, it's the bundle... It's a piece of the... Excellent as... Nice shot!
It's confusing that you have to change icons in the middle of the thing. And it looks like there's a piece of
A large
Twinkie.
hunk of Twinkoid cake food product is hanging just below her epiglottis. It appears to have gotten jammed on the way to her stomach for digestion. Doesn't this woman chew? This is the lower part of the esophagus. Just below this is the stomach. What's the matter? Haven't you ever seen an esophagus before? These are the trachea and bronchi. That's where the lungs hook in.
pill got stuck there. I have no idea. That's something you probably notice.
You start to...
I think we've broken free. This game is so glitchy.
An interesting idea. What are you up to, Roger?
I have no idea. I just know
Let's
I
do...
want that. It won't work. Alright, now this thing over here probably shouldn't
You
be
summon
glowing.
the... You drew...
So let's go take a look. I am using a walkthrough for this because I don't know this part of the game. Alright, up this way is the gallbladder.
This is the cystic duct. You are quite near where the gallbladder becomes part of the bile parade. You cleverly tape the capillaries together. Nice work! You've hooked up your makeshift hose to the pump. Nothing happened. You chuck one of the taped capillaries over the muscular ledge. It drops into the pool. You give the pump a stroke or two, and in the process gather a nice helmet load of bile. I guess congratulations are in order. You've got plenty of that.
Okay. Stand by for Indiana Jones reference. We're going to keep going this direction here. And we saw in the medical article about somebody doing a angioplasty, air balloon angioplasty using a balloon to push deposits away from where you're trying to go. And that's the reason that article was in the database. And that's why you always read everything available to you.
A nice pool of pancreatic secretions made up of insulin and glucagon fill the bottom of the islands of Langerhans.
Okay, so we need some of that goo that's dripping in the bottom of this space here.
You maneuver your helmet beneath the drip and manage to snag a nice little dollop of the stuff.
Okay, so we have a combination of whatever that goo is and the bile from the gallbladder.
This is the main pancreatic duct. It appears that there's some blockage toward the tail of the pancreas. It definitely gets a bit snug. Seems to be a buildup of cholesterol arterial plaque.
Odd that it's not in our artery.
It's one of those tiny timed release pills. You now own one of those tiny timed release pills.
This time we're going down from here.
Great Scott, that certainly is one buff parasite.
I think I'm gonna spew. But who'll notice? Man, that thing is ugly.
Impressive. The tapeworm suddenly becomes much more animated. Please remember to keep your arms and legs on the worm at all times. Yow! Now that's a ride you won't take in the Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, let's keep going here. Alright, let's see what this is.
How does she get this stuff into her digestive system? That's a screw Stellar probably doesn't remember. It looks like an old silver amalgam filling. Must have been bouncing around here for years. It's a relatively unscathed paperclip.
Paperclip.
Talk about hard currency. The Buckazoid has proven itself once again. This is even one of the old style ones. Might be worth some money. Too bad you can't carry it. It's a fingernail, complete with paint. These have a knack for making it down here. Suddenly, you wonder when Stellar grew such long nails. Perhaps you haven't been thinking of Stellar as a woman as much as a crewmate. You feel an interesting longing. One look at your surroundings kills that feeling fast. But maybe after this is all over. This is the appendix. It's a strange piece of the humanoid anatomy considered by some medical types to be fairly useless. It may not be useful, but it does seem to collect some strange stuff. You snap off a shard of fingernail and gingerly introduce it into your pocket. You carefully, very carefully, stow the paper clip in your pocket.
We're mainly taking the stuff because
You
it's
pull away
here.
a cracked piece of the filling.
We're mainly taking the stuff because we can, not because we know where we're going to need it.
So you like the worm, huh? You like to ride the worm, huh? I let you ride the worm.
I'm sure that's a reference to something. I have no idea what it is. Alright.
Don't touch.
And now we just get to unwind where we've just been and climb all the way back out of the stomach, back up to where we parked our ship. And that is not with the celery rope, this is just with the wall of the thing through the ulcer. And I didn't look at the computer earlier, but it's complaining about a lack of
Red light.
silver.
This is not good. Apparently some or all of the intermix element in fuel tank 3 was disgorged during your heinous Venus joyride.
Okay.
That's not all that was disgorged, but we'll skip the details.
So if you remember, lasagna, our third fuel tank, was full of silver. And that is why we needed to
Those
get
are the gallstone.
the silver
It's a chunk of silver.
tooth.
Good boy. Now leave the...
This heat time. Whoops. This heat.
All right, we're going to stop here because it's about 20 minutes
doing
in.
that.
And I'm going to figure out how to get back onto the ship, and I'll meet you there on the next episode. So thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.